Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a mixture. I've got a unboxing I'm going to do, I've got an update on the silver that I've been selling, and I'm also going to have a little shuffle around, a little tidy up of the setup. So I thought I'd set the camera rolling so I could kind of have a chat as I sort things out. Now these are the coins that you probably saw in a video a few weeks back that I took to show Addicted to Precious Metals. I went through my stack and I picked 50 ounces that I was willing to part with. Now I'm not getting rid of any bars or any tubes. I wanted to get rid of more of the kind of single coins because it's got to a stage now where I've started to have more of a collector's stack instead of an investment stack. So my thought process is to sell some of the kind of single coins. I've also got bills coming up surrounding my investment properties that I need to pay. So instead of taking money out of other investments like I normally do, I decided this time to do a bit of an experiment and liquidate some of my silver instead. Some of it's going to be going at a loss, but I think overall I should be okay. I'm going to probably still be at a bit of a loss because the problem is when you buy silver and you only hold it for a short period of time, especially here in the UK when you're buying silver coins new, because when you buy a new silver coin here in the UK, you pay 20% VAT and obviously you've got to pay the postage as well. So coins like this, and these are the ones that I've just done a video for to show Cobra because he said he might be interested in some of the more collectible ones. But some of these coins here, and for those of you that have brought these sort of coins, you'll know how much they cost. But some of these cost me £30 and upwards. So that is because they're new. So when you buy them, obviously you pay the 20% VAT. And they're just more expensive in the first place because they're not your kind of standard bullion coins. Now, when you're buying coins like this, like I said, if you're not holding for a long period of time, you are going to lose money if you come to liquidate them because you need to hold it for... Ideally, the spot price needs to rise 20% because then that counteracts your VAT. So then when you come to sell, you've at minimum not going to lose any money. So it's a real tough one when you're investing in precious metals and you need to part with it before, say, 5 or 10 years. Now, like I said, I'm not forced to part with this stuff. I have got other investments that I could liquidate. It's more of an experiment. And like I was kind of starting to say at the beginning of this video, it's a way of getting rid of some of my more single stuff and just keeping hold of my tubes and bars. Because I do like the idea of having a diversified stack for my YouTube stack. Because don't get me wrong, if I had just generic bars and lots of the same tubes, it wouldn't be very interesting watching. So I am still going to keep a kind of mixture of different pieces of silver for my YouTube stack. But for my kind of investment, my deep stack, the stack that I don't really show on videos, I decided to strip it back a little bit. And like I said, get rid of some of these single coins, rid of some of the more collectible pieces. And then in the future, when I buy back, I'll buy some more kind of bars and some tubes and things like that. Because what I've learned from this process, and I think it's really important when you're investing in anything, to always have an exit strategy and always sell something of what you brought just to kind of test the market. It's like when I first got into crypto, I actually brought and sold some straight away, and that is because I wanted to see how easy it was. I wanted to see whether you could literally buy and sell, whether you had to buy and hold for a certain period of time, or how difficult it would be to sell, whether you had to wait for a buyer to come along, because it was all a new kind of thing to me. It was a new market. And it's the same when I first got into NFTs, and I haven't really spoken about my NFT investments much on this channel because it's not really something that I want to promote too much because it's very, very speculative. Essentially, you're just buying an image. Now, a lot of people that are into the blockchain technology and crypto and all the rest of it, they all probably jump in the comments now and say, you're not just buying an image, you're buying the actual blockchain that the image is on and all the rest of it. But there's a lot more behind NFTs. And it is literally as simple as if the server that the NFT is actually on goes down, then essentially you're just left with the blockchain and no image. And I will do videos in the future explaining what I mean by that. But like I said, I don't really want to go in too much detail into NFT investing just yet because, like I said, it's a very risky play. And I have made quite a lot of money in NFTs, but I've also lost a lot of money as well. So It's one of them things that you need to be very, very careful with. Now, back to what I was saying about you need to test the market. When I was buying NFTs, and a lot of the time I was buying things that you kind of buy and then you open, you don't know exactly what the NFT is. So you don't know whether it's going to be a rare one, whether you're going to get a standard one. So you're taking a bit of a gamble. It's like buying a lottery ticket. And sometimes I got lucky, sometimes I didn't. But when I first started buying NFTs, the first thing I did was I brought one and I sold it straight away. And that was, like I said, to kind of test the market, to see how easy it was to actually buy and sell them, to see if they were very liquid, or whether you had to kind of wait for a period of time before the kind of prices went up, or there was more interest in the project, or whatever it may be. So that goes back to what I was saying with precious metals. I think it's very important to test the market. Even if you just sell 1 ounce of silver, I think you'll learn a lot from trying to sell 1 ounce. You'll work out the complications, you'll work out the potential money that's lost if you're not holding this stuff for a long period of time. And I just think it's quite good to get your confidence up with selling this stuff, because sooner or later you are going to want to convert this back into fiat, whether it be just for a short period of time to buy another investment, or to pay a bill down, or pay some of your mortgage down, or to buy an investment property, or, like I said, to make another investment in the stock market, wherever it may be. Now, not every single person is going to end up passing all of their silver down to their children. I know a lot of people do say in their videos, this stack isn't for me, it's to pass on, it's generational wealth, I'm going to pass it all on to my children. But no one knows what's around the corner. No one knows how long we have health-wise working in our jobs. So the reality of it is, although you like the idea of handling this stuff onto your children and you have no intention of selling it, like I said, you don't know what's around the corner, you don't know when you're going to need to free up some cash. And even if you have a large cash reserve, that can definitely dwindle down very quickly over time when it comes to retirement. If you haven't got a great retirement plan, or you have to retire early due to health reasons, or whatever it may be, there's so many different scenarios where suddenly your cash reserves dry up and you are forced to go into your investments. Now, that's not a bad thing, because if you didn't have this stuff, you wouldn't have any backup funds. Some people run out of their emergency fund and then they haven't got anything else. Whereas when you're making lots of different investments, you've still got lots of options, and it's better to have lots of different options on the table than, like I said, run out of your emergency fund and not have anywhere to fall back on. So this whole experience has been really interesting, and it's really taught me that when you buy this more collectible stuff, it is a lot harder to part with, because you get an emotional attachment. If you're just buying, like I said, a whole tube, let's say you just buy a whole tube of Britannias, it's very easy just to part with this, because they're all the same coin. You can literally just sell it for, obviously not as much as these collectibles, but you can sell it for a fairly decent price. That's if you bought it second hand in the first place. Obviously, if you're buying it brand new, you are going to lose that 20%. But if you bought it second hand, you can sell it for a fairly decent price, unless obviously the spot price has changed and dropped dramatically. But my point is, when you buy these more collectible coins, it's a lot harder to part with them. When I went through my collection, I was deciding what 50 ounces to part with. It took me so long. It took like 2 hours of me just going through my coins. I was picking up designs. I was going, right, I'm going to part with that one. That's going to be one I sell. And then I was looking back and going, no, actually, I really like that one. And I was putting that back in the stack. And then I was going, no, should I sell that? And then I was going, actually, no, I'll sell this one. And it just took a long time. It took me, like I said, a couple of hours to go through it all and actually decide which ones to part with. And even then, when I first met up with Addicted to Precious Metals and he was going through them, when he was picking up designs, he was going, are you sure you want to get rid of this one? This is a really nice one. And I was like, stop showing me them. Just decide which ones you want. And then I wanted to kind of just get the money, and there's the coins, and that's the end of it. Because I didn't want to start doubting the ones that I put up for sale. I didn't want to start going, no, actually, I really like that one. I want to take that one back. So yeah, so my point is, when you're buying for an investment, when you're investing in precious metals as an investment, it's very important, in my opinion. This is not financial advice. This is just from my experience that I've learned from trying to sell silver. Is it's very, very important, if you're stacking purely for investment purposes and not as a hobby, not as a kind of collection, not as kind of something to do in your spare time. If you're stacking purely for an investment, it's very, very important to have tubes and generic bars, because you don't get emotionally attached to a Britannia like you do if you've gone onto a website and you picked up a coin because you really like the design of it. So like I said, also you're going to lose the premium on these coins when you come to sell. Obviously you can sell them for more than the standard kind of generic bullion, but at the same time you aren't going to sell it for as much as you paid if you're selling in the short term. So yeah, little bit of advice there. If you're stacking for investments, make sure you've got plenty of tubes, plenty of bars, plenty of things that you haven't brought because you like the look of them. You purely brought them in the first place because they were good value for money as an average per ounce. So let me know what you think about this video. I know I said I was going to do an unboxing and I was going to organise my setup and all the rest of it, but this video turned out to be over 10 minutes long already, so I don't want this video to get too long. So we're going to wrap the video up there. We're going to call this video something along the lines of what I've learnt when selling silver, and then I will do another video in a minute, which I'll probably upload in a couple of days, of me unboxing something. So I hope that's okay. Like I said, I don't want the videos to be too long because I think 10 minutes is more than enough. Sometimes I do these kind of longer 40-minute long, hour-long videos. Sometimes I've done like sort of 2-hour-long videos when I sit there and I have a whiskey and we kind of have a chat. But for my kind of normal sort of every other day videos, I like them to be no more than 10 minutes. So I hope you found that video interesting. I hope that gave you a little bit of advice when you're picking up precious metals, especially for those of you that are looking to liquidate anytime soon. And the main advice for you, if you want to kind of summarize this video, is when you're buying precious metals as an investment, make sure you're buying plenty of tubes, plenty of bars, not things because you like the look of them, things because you like the price of them. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a very nice day. I do like the idea of having a diverse, because I do like the idea of having a, because I do like the idea of having a, because I do like the idea, because I do like the idea of having a diversified stack.